What is I screwed up the intro this time. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode, Friday Night Fight Talk. I'm your host, the excellent host, J2006, as per usual, and welcome back. Um, so yeah, what do we got going on this weekend? We got why am I blanking on it? We got Adesanya versus Imavov, UFC Saudi Arabia 2. And then on the same day, it's actually my birthday. I can't wait. Yeah. I just get to watch that on the couch the whole time. It's gonna be amazing. And then I just get to celebrate in the evening because it's an early date card. It's gonna be great. So yeah. The UFC website is being a bit of a dick right now. It's not letting me access stats, which I just like to have pulled up while I do the episode. So we're gonna wing it based off my fucking central knowledge of blobs. Speaking of which, first fight on the card, we have Hamdi Abdul-Wahab versus Jamal Pox. These are some real fucking blob names. So Hamdi over here, he's 5-0. He's from Egypt. We don't see a lot of those. Jamal Pogs over here fucking missed weight. How do you miss weight at blob weight? You have the widest margin in the UFC to make weight and you still miss it? Holy fuck. Oh man. But yeah. So we got Hamdi blah 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 versus Jamal Pogs. Usually this blob has an 100% finish rate, the Egyptian man over here. But it's rare with Jamal. He has a 55% decision rate. Very odd we see that at heavyweight. A lot of heavyweight fights are just knockouts. Apparently not now. So, what am I going to say? I'll say Hamdi Abdel-Wahab gets a knockout in the second. I'm gonna say he knocks him out in the second. Yeah, I don't know how Jamal or if Jamal has been knocked out at all or not, but he missed blob weight, and you can't miss blob weight unironically. Like, what the fuck? Come on. Okay, next up, we got featherweight. We got Bogdan Grad. He's making his debut off the Contender Series, I believe. If I'm not wrong. Shouldn't be wrong. Versus Lucas Alexander. So yeah, Lucas Alexander, I'll start with him. He's gotten a record of 8-4. He's really not doing too hot. He's got 3 knockout wins. Other than that, he's just a decisionator. And he's 1 for 2 in the UFC. So I will say one of those fights was Joe Anderson Brito, but it's yeah. I'm gonna have to pick this. I'm gonna have to pick Bogdan over here. Man, I am tired. Hold on. I'm going to just get some quick caffeine in me while I explain this. Bogdan has a very high finish rate. Thank you. He has a very high finish rate. I think he only has a couple decisions. He's been knocked out once in his pro career. And Contender Series guys are different. He lost on the Contender Series to a few years ago. I think it was to Tom Nolan or something. But he was able to get a split decision on the Contender Series, and now he's making his debut in the UFC. I gotta say, he knocks out Lucas Alexander in probably the second or first round. I don't know which one I'm going to pick. I'm just going to say it's one of them. He KOs him. That's all I really care about. Next fight, yeah, you guys already know who I'm picking for this one. So we got Jasmine Jasudavicius and Mayra Bueno Silva. Yeah. If you guys know who Jasmine Jasudavicius is, you already know who I'm picking here. I'm picking Jasmine Jasudavicius by decision, no questions asked. Will I probably be taking a piss break during this? Maybe, if I feel like it. But also, it's a Canadian girl, so I might watch. But Mayra Bueno Silva, coming back down to flyweight, had that title shot against shitty Raquel Pennington. It was a horrible fight in Toronto. Oh, Jesus. Like, this is her way of just trying to still screw over Canada. Yeah. And then she had that TKO loss to, or not TKO, it was doctor stoppage, to Macy Chiasson. Wait a minute. I don't know if you guys can hear me eating or not, because I know on the old phone, I think you guys can hear me munching big time. I was also recording the old episodes on my phone, and that's why they sounded like shit. Yeah, I got hash browns today. It's breakfast, so I'm just chilling here. I'm eating this. All right. Next up. Real good hash browns. Made them in the air fryer. We got Terrence McKinney versus I can't say that name. Damir Hadzovic, I think. So Terrence McKinney is a big betting favorite here, but my thing with Terrence McKinney is you can never reliably pick him because he has a cycle, and luckily we're on the positive side. We're on the positive side of this cycle, but I still can't trust it. That doesn't mean I'm not picking him. I'm picking him. But especially since Damir is very old. Terrence McKinney, basically, if you don't know his cycle, he has flash KO, like crazy flash KO, and then gets crazy flash KO'd, and this cycle just keeps repeating until fucking I forget what I was gonna say. Until, yeah, I guess it never ends, yeah. But I am going to pick Terrence McKinney. I'm going to say he KOs Damir over here. But, yeah, I'm going to say it's Terrence McKinney. I say he KOs him in the first. Hadzovic isn't really one for getting knocked out. He's more probably getting subbed. But he also hasn't fought in a really, really long time. And especially coming back against Terrence McKinney. Nah. Nah, I'm gonna say round one knockout. Yeah. I'll say that. Oh. The next fight. This is going to be spectacular. The GOAT. Future heavyweight champion. Kind of undefeated. Except to cardiac arrest. We got Shamil Meal Deal Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson. Can I just say something? Who the fuck all the people in the rankings, right? Because there's a bunch of media members. Just unanimously agreed. Oh yeah, Shamil Gaziev, he needs to be ranked. What the fuck? He's 2-1 in the UFC. He's 2-1. You want to know who he beat? He beat, in his debut, Martin Bidet. Okay? Good win. He's a really good unranked heavyweight. Lost to Jairzinho Rosenstrike. Okay? Beats Don'Tale Mayes. A can. Gets ranked. What the fuck? And I guess the same thing happened to Rodrigo Nascimento. He beat Don'Tale Mayes and got ranked. Why? I don't get it. But I really don't understand Shamil Gaziev being ranked. I do understand Mick Parkin. That's the thing. I do understand Mick Barkin, but I don't know why Shamil Gaziev is ranked even above Mick Barkin. But anyways, I'm diverging from the path here. Easily, this is going to be a decision for Emil Gaziev, the GOAT. I don't really think Shamil will finish him. I get he's got fucking 8 knockouts, 3 submissions, but when you're taking Don'Tale Mayes to a decision, and Thomas Peterson, who apparently in the UFC's eyes has done enough to get a ranked opponent, and I know this fight was booked before Emil Deal was ranked, but I think it's fucking stupid, because this guy is 1-1 in the UFC. The only thing he's done is beat Muhammad Usman, and have a good win on the Contender Series. That's about it. But yeah, he already had a loss, and so one decision win over a tough winner gets you a ranked opponent. The fuck? Anyways, top of the prelims here. We got Muhammad Naimov versus Khan Ofli. Muhammad Naimov, if I'm remembering correctly, because I definitely could be remembering wrong, considering that I'm completely winging this right now. His last fight was against Felipe Lima on the last Saudi card, where Felipe Lima had the huge upset. And he had a very, I would say a robbery over Nathaniel Wood. I won't lie. I really thought Wood won that. But then we got Khan Ofli over here. He is not debuting. Lost, technically debuting. He was on Tough. He was on the last season of Tough. He lost in the final. I don't really think these Tough guys are that good anymore. 2-time Tough winners fucking Brad Katona. And I get he's Canadian and he's, absolutely elite. But... Okay, that's a bad example because I can't shit talk a Canadian. Muhammad Usman, look at him. He fucking sucks. He's horrible. All that muscle's too big. Losing to fucking Thomas Peterson. But yeah, I'll say, these tough guys really aren't that good. I am going to pick Muhammad Naimov by a decision. I don't think he'll finish him. I think he'll just do mostly the same thing he'll do in the Felipe Lima fight, except he won't really get submitted at the end of the fight. Okay. This was somehow on the prelims before. Lightweight. We have Fares Ziam versus Mike Davis. And right now, I am very surprised that Fares Ziam is the underdog. I do not understand how he's the underdog right now. Considering, did everyone just forget what he did in his last fight? Did everyone just forget? And excuse me here, I'm about to have another drink. But did everyone just forget what this guy did? He knocked out Matt Frevola. Dominated that whole fight. Knocked him out with a knee. I didn't even pick him in that fight. I thought Matt Frevola was going to win. And he's on a 4-fight win streak. 4-fight win streak? Jeez. And then Mike Davis here, also on a 4-fight win streak. But his wins... I would say they're less impressive. I would say his best win is maybe Borshev. I think, out of that 4. He even lost to Gilbert Burns. I really gotta say, I think Fares Ziam wins a decision. I think this is gonna be a very close fight. I'm glad this got moved up to the main card, because it was actually on the prelims at first. And I think I'm gonna say Fares Ziam wins a decision. I do not think it'll be a finish. Just because both these guys are going to be going at it. This will be risky. This could be my sleeper pick for fight of the night. And yeah, okay. Moving on. We got Said Nurmagomedov. I don't know why I said it like that. I don't know why I said it like that. Versus Vinicius Oliveira. So, this one's been booked for a while. I'm really interested to see how this one goes. Because Said is definitely like the worst, or one of the worst, sorry, not the worst. Out of like the Dagestans. Or Dagestanis. So he has a win over Gafarov, but he got it was a very close fight with Jonathan Martinez. Seeing that he was ranked or that Jonathan Martinez was ranked, and Vinicius Oliveira is very close to getting in the rankings already, and he's only had like two fights in the UFC. Yeah, this is a sleeper. I am gonna pick Vinicius Oliveira to win a decision. Yeah, I don't think he'll pull some flying knee bullshit out of his ass. I really think he'll just win a very close decision. I think this will be a close fight. I saw these two playing ping pong before their fight. It doesn't happen much. But good to see these guys are being respectful. Yeah. Man, I just realized how fucked I could be for the Immortal Tournament with all these risky picks, because I'm about to make another risky pick, and the odds don't make it look like a risky pick. This is a fucking risky pick, okay? Sergey Pavlovich versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik. This is very tough for me to predict, and a lot of people look at the odds and go, "Oh, Sergey Pavlovich is going to win." I'm not 100% sure. Sergey Pavlovich, he got knocked out by Tom Aspinall, and shit's been different since then. Now, I know he's lost one fight, but we all know who Sergey Pavlovich is. This is the man who had never had a second round in the UFC. Not only did he have his first second round, he had his first third round. Or I don't even think it's in the UFC. I think it's just all time. And so, yeah. Real big fall off from Pav. But it's one fight. It's a 2 fight loss streak, sorry. So I don't think that's the end of the world. Another risk here is Jairzinho Rozenstruik, because he's been sitting at like the middle of that division for a while. He's been sitting in the middle of that division. He has wins. He beat Shamil the Blob Gaziev on that fight night, and then he beat Tai Tuivasa on 305, which he completely dominated, and one of the judges just did not agree with that. Horrible judging. But he still lost to Jelton Almeida, lost to Volkov. My thing is, this is the thing with this fight, is that Pav could easily chin him, without a doubt in my mind. We've seen the the Rozenstruik and Ngannou fight, right? Like, Rozenstruik got starched, okay? Pavlovich has that same power, but I don't know what he's going to do with it, because he got knocked out that one time, and he's been different ever since. I'm going to say it. I know I've spent forever on this pick. I'm picking Sergey Pavlovich by round 1 KO. It's very risky, because the odds don't show it, but this fight should be a lot closer. It should be a lot closer, and it's not. Or the odds don't show it, but it's a risky pick for me. Okay. Here comes another risky pick. Go main event. We got somehow ranked Shara Magomedov, or Shara Bullet, versus Michael Page. Michael Page, he's coming up a division to welterweight, to middleweight, to fight somehow number 14 ranked Shara Bullet Magomedov. Blah. Jesus, I sound like Joe Rogan saying Magomedov. But Shara, he had a 4-fight win streak and got ranked. now? And ranked number 14 too? Like not 15, he's 14. Think. He beat Bruno Silva. Okay. Bruno Silva's been doing horrible recently. Anthony, or it might be Antonio Trocoli, also horrible. Mikhail Oleksiejczyk, I don't even think he's in the UFC anymore. I forget if he got cut or not. And Armen Petrosian. That denotes a ranking? Somehow? Like, come on. Like, come on. Really? But yeah, this is a risky pick for me because they're both very crafty strikers, and I will say Shara definitely has the power edge on it. But from what I saw, and I guess this is very little of what I saw, from MVP do against Ian Gary, I'm going to say that MVP can win a decision. And he will fraud check Shara Magomedov. I'm actually saying it. I'm so fucked. Whew. The Immortal Tournament. This is going to be bad. Yeah, I really think MVP has the skills, because if you guys don't know, he did compete in a grappling match against Carlos Condit. And from what we saw in the Ian Gary fight, don't get me wrong, Ian Gary's a really good grappler, but MVP got, like, fucked in that fight on the grappling, okay? And MVP, he seems he's really improved his grappling since then, and Shara can't grapple for shit. Okay, he's worse than me. Alright? I've submitted a couple people. At least in practice. But Shara over here. And also, remember in the Trocoli fight, he got away with a blatant cage grab, and, like, they didn't do shit about it. So we could see some blatant cage grabs here. I'm gonna pick Michael Page by decision. Yeah, it's very risky. And this next one is also very risky. Middleweight, main event. We got Israel Adesanya versus Nasruddin Imavov. Israel Adesanya, he's on a 2-fight losing streak to Sean Strickland and Dricus. And this is his first non-title fight in years. I think it's 6 years, I saw. And Nasruddin Imavov, who I'm coining as the fake contender. Okay? And reason I say this, that was a horrible win over Jared Cannonier. We have to remember that, because it was bad. It was a really bad stoppage. The Brendan Allen win was fair. The Roman Dolidze win was fair. And don't get me wrong, he could definitely be in at the number 7 for beating Brendan Allen. But man, he was shot up to being a contender after beating Jared Cannonier. And he should not have beat him. Jared Cannonier was winning that fight. And just because Cannonier got hit hard does not mean you need to stop that fight. I love Herzog. That's one of Herzog's only bad calls. And he's up here in the rankings now. Or up as a contender now. One more win, and he 100% gets a title shot. After cum shot, yeah. But he'll definitely be, unless they give Strickland an instant rematch with it, which I think that'd be fucking stupid. But it's risky because they gave him a very good matchup for him. They gave him Izzy, striker v striker. And Israel Adesanya has been on a bit of a bad streak. He hasn't been doing good. But I genuinely think Izzy can come back from this. I think he can come back from this. I think if he loses this fight, it actually is going to be very close to retirement for him. But I am going to say Israel Adesanya wins a decision. I do not think he TKOs him, but I think he has it to go 5 rounds. I hope he's put more discipline in. I think he's given himself more discipline, I guess. I really hope that he can pull this off. I do not want to see Nasruddin Imavov getting a title shot because he had that fluke win over Jared Cannonier. That's one of the only times I won't ever call that. If you actually get like a real KO, that's a fluke, like Cheeto Vera shit, that's fine. Not when the ref steps in and that's bullshit. Like Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah. Go Birds. Go Birds. I Yeah, I'm a Bills fan, so that sucked if anyone watched AFC Championship. I ordered a Saquon jersey, Saquon Barkley blackout. It's got the Super Bowl patch. Yeah, man, I wish it was the Lions going to the Super Bowl. Why? Why does it have to be Chiefs Eagles again? Just give me the Lions or the Commanders even. They beat the Lions. I was fine with that. I really thought Bills Lions was going to be the Super Bowl on him. It's not. I'm pissed off. But I guess they're really banged up. I should really stop talking about football right now. There's probably some people listening to this that don't know what the fuck a football is. Or, sorry, do, but it's not the football I'm talking about. So that's my picks. So let's get into the Q&A here. Starting off, still can't say his name. Damn, bro, you actually cursed Ehor. He got cut. I forgot about that. He really did get cut like the week after that episode came out. Which, I mean, like, it's a 4-fight or like 5-fight losing streak. I don't know what you could do with that, even if it was complete bullshit. It was a bullshit loss streak. It was just, he's the unluckiest man in the UFC. And it really sucks because he's Ukrainian and I'm of Ukrainian descent. So I really was rooting for him. But, oh, man. And Ori Wachong with Almeida, man, he had like that one. It wasn't a finish against Lewis, man. I know. Okay. My thing with Almeida is that it was the first time I brought my friends over to try and get him hooked. Motherfucker sat on Derek Lewis for 25 minutes. I don't. That's my thing against him. All of his other fights are finishes, which is great. But, oh my God, that was awful. That was awful. Shara MVP, I think, is a lot closer than people think. I'm picking MVP, but I wouldn't be surprised if Shara won. How about you? I agree. I very much agree. Yeah. I don't got much to say about it. I definitely agree. This fight is very close. Let's whack my phone. And Rufy Green and Vittori Delidze. Oh, yeah. Rufy Green and Vittori Delidze, too, are pretty out of the blue fights, but I can't wait. What do you reckon for them, too? I'm going to say Rufy beats Green. I don't want to say that, but it's the truth. Don't get me wrong, Rufy, he looked good against James Lomtop, but I expected him to do a lot better. That being said, Kid Green is old and got KO'd by Jalen Turner brutally. And I was coming off that brutal sub to Paddy Pimblett. I think Rufy should win this. I don't know. I'm still debating on what method. That's still very far away. UFC 313. And Vittori Delidze too. Listen. Okay. Listen. I hate Roman Delidze. Okay? I don't like him. He's fucking winning this fight. I just flipped my phone on accident. I hate to say it. I hate to say that Roman Delidze is winning this fight. He's gonna win. He's gonna win. Marvin Vittori's been out for almost 2 years. And this, yeah. And Roman Delidze has somehow been doing good recently. So, yeah. He'll somehow find a way to win that. And then we got 3 pieces questions here. What's with Kevin Holland being a douchebag on the Jackson podcast? Rampage should have power slammed him. Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't know what got into Kevin Holland. He was so likable years ago. What are your thoughts on the Geriatric Fighters League GFL? Do you think it will ever come to fruition? It's a cool concept. It's a cool concept, but I really don't like the roster. I really don't like the roster. I don't like that it's a bunch of washed guys from the UFC or any other promotion. I think it could be okay, but I'd have to watch it first. I'd have to watch it and see. The team concept is interesting, and the pool of wash fighters might still have some decent matchups. Tony versus Kevin Lee or Dylan Anus kind of has me interested. That yeah, nice to see Izzy and Whitaker bury the hatchet and train together. I agree. That was very nice to see. Do you think Izzy fights like the Izzy of old this weekend? I do. I'm hoping. I'm really hoping that contender Izzy just wakes the fuck up. Because he didn't in the last one. I'm also hoping MVP takes the pirate to the ground and shows the world there is more than one dimension in the UFC. And MVP has been training a lot of BJJ lately. Yeah, I really hope MVP incorporates some grappling, but I'm not confident. He's a striker first. But if he incorporates grappling, like even with his basic BJJ, I think he could be really good. And then Sergey Starch's Biggie Boy thought, I agree. I agree. I'm very cautious about it. I'm very, very cautious. Because Sergey did not look good in his last two fights. When is your next bout? We're actually talking right now. The thing is that I'm gonna have to cut a lot of weight. I'm hoping March. March maybe. In Oshawa, Canada. I'm gonna hope. But also at the same time, I really don't want to cut. It's a lot of weight in very little time. Because I'm 170 right now, and I've got to make at least 150. And I don't want, like, I'm small for 150. I'm small for lightweight. I don't really like fighting at lightweight. I won a championship in it. And I won't do that again. That was very hard. I am a natural 145 or 135er. So I'd love to get down there. But I'm hoping March, but I really don't want to cut all that weight because it's my gym's promotion. So it's our event. And I'm really hoping we can do it. Like if I get a layup fight, maybe. And then UFC Montreal is rumored. Road trip. Fuck yeah, why not? I'm definitely going if it's in Montreal. I didn't go to 297 because 297 was a shit card. It was awful. I'm probably going to this one because they'll at least have like Bolal, Shavkat, Marab, Yan. If it's Marab, I'm 100% going. Y'all know I glaze the fuck out of Marab. I love Marab. I know that's a bad thing to say. I really like Marab. While you're taking a whiz, I'm going to be watching Jasmine Jasudavicius versus Marina Brink. I'm going to watch it. I hope our Canadian lady wins. I definitely agree. So my sister works on a radio station in St. Catharines, Canada. And that's where Jasmine Jasudavicius lives. And they actually got to interview her on one of the radio shows. I was really excited to see that. Unfortunately, it wasn't my sister interviewing them, but it was her station, so I'm all right. Future champion Shamil the Meal is on this card. How do you think he does? I think he does all right. I think he just gets a good win. It's Thomas Peterson. Like even if he beats him, I'm not going to be that impressed. Terrence McKinney, guy either starches his opponent quick or gets chinned immediately. I think he starches him quick. Because if you look at who he's fighting, the guy hasn't fought. He's an old head. He's like 38, and he hasn't fought in 2 years. Or almost 3. Holy shit. But I think he gets him pretty easily. As much as it's very risky picking Terrence McKinney. So that's it. Yeah. Oh, big stretch. Oh, thank you guys for listening once again. Oh, I'm stretching. Sorry if you didn't get to hear me eating and drinking, but it's all right. I'm gonna really enjoy watching this card on my my birthday, just sitting there. Also, if you didn't notice, if you're watching this on YouTube, the background, I put a little party hat on the goat. Shamil Gaziev. But yeah, Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye bye.